All right, giving it a couple minutes here to make sure it's all caught up. And I'm going to see if I can find this on my phone so I can keep track of things. There we go. Keep an eye on comments a little bit better. Give a minute or two for everybody to find us. All right, I see a couple people on there. Hello, Laura. Hello, Daniel. And Kinnery is moderating for us today. So hi to Kinnery behind the scenes. Hi, Karen and Jackie and Donna and Lori. I think I just answered your question, Laura. Lori. It's not Leah. A lot of L's going on there. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Carol. Hi, Ash K, Patricia Coleman. Welcome, everybody. Super duper excited here today. Finally, it's been a long time coming. This year's just kind of been one thing after another with some of these releases and just having to push them out, having almost everything and just waiting for everything to come in time from manufacturers, and with shipping delays, it's just like the extension of 2020. So finally today, we get to share our first sneak peek of our release that's actually in just 2 days. So the good news is you don't have to wait as long. A lot of times these sneak peeks are a week before, but we're really close now, so you don't have to wait very long. We already shared a sneak peek of the fabulous butterflies we're going to use today on our Facebook and Instagram, and already they look super popular. But I was still excited to kind of show them off a little bit today. Oh, yay, Sassy M bought our inks. Oh, you're going to love them. And that's right. That is one thing I should mention real quick. Extending through this release, all of our full-size ink pads, all these beautiful things, are 30% off. We don't have a sale that high very often. So it's a really great opportunity to grab them. And we keep coming out with more of these fabulous layering stencils like we're going to show today. And our inks just work so, I mean, you'll see again today, they work so beautifully, not only for stamping, but they're really great for ink blending as well. So I've heard nothing but rave reviews from everyone who's gotten them. Hi, Margarita, glad you could make it again. All right. And hello again, Catherine from Clarkston, Washington. All right, so real quick, a couple reminders really fast. Make sure and leave those comments. Make sure and ask questions, answer questions if you see any that you want, or you know the answer to. Sorry, my brain today. And then if there's anywhere you can share this video, even if it's just to a friend, a Facebook group where you know it's allowed, on your own page, leave a comment and let us know that. At the end, Kinnery, who's moderating for us today, will go ahead and pick a winner for a $15 gift card. And since you know the release is in 2 days, it's kind of a really great time to get that $15 spending money to get a start. On Thursday, Leah will be doing another live with some of the new release. That day is the release. And there's going to be a massive blog hop, and you'll be able to get everything 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time now, because we're all on daylight savings, at least in the majority of the US. So make sure and check that out. There is no craft hour this Saturday, but we had a fabulous one last Saturday. It's up for rewatch, and there'll be another one in 2 weeks. I don't know who the guest is yet for that, so I can't even give any hints on that one. But let's go ahead. We've got a lot of stuff to do here to play. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around and see if we can go ahead and get started. One other thing I want to make note of, if you leave questions for me, I do my very, very best to watch and catch those as they go by, but especially today when I'm using a set I haven't played with that much and new stuff, I kind of tend to be a little focused on that and a little distracted from catching all those comments. Kinnery is behind the scenes, so if I miss a question, she will try to answer that. And then if both of us miss it somehow, or if Kinnery didn't know the answer and I miss it, once those comments scroll by, I don't always see them. So feel free just to ask again. I don't know if it'll help me see it, but I know Jeff Lindbergh has people leave like a hashtag question or something like that on there. So it kind of makes it stand out a little. So if there's something you want me to answer live, maybe try that today. I'm not going to make any promises that it'll work, but I'm willing to give it a try and see if that helps. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this camera switched around and see if we can get this project started. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm gonna fix my camera and zoom it in a little bit because it always seems to get off a little bit. Okay, we'll try that for now and see if that works. All right, go for that. All right, Heidi, I see D just popped in here. And yes, Lori, the more butterflies, the better. I do agree with that. Okay, get my comments, my screen turned off. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of crazy with the inks today. You don't have to as much. This is only a 5-piece layering stencil, but I kind of wanted to have some fun with the colors and do a little bit. So what's really fun about these is you have, of course, these beautiful layering stencils, and you can see how they work with or without the coordinating stamp set. And of course, the stencils have the corner notches to make it really easy to line up. And as you can see, it does both the butterflies at the same time. So to make it super easy together, we have the stamp set. I don't know if you can see that, that's all in one piece. And this die is all in one piece. So you can stencil, stamp, die cut, all in one pass and get both of these beautiful butterflies. So my plan today is to do both of these and then probably make them into 2 cards because they are kind of large to both fit on 1 card. So yeah, and yes, we did have those sneak peeks on Instagram. Those are by the amazingly talented Carissa Wiley. So let's go ahead and get started here on this. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do Leah's method. I'm going to tape my stuff in place a little bit different for this today. Usually I just put the this is just Post-it tape, easily removable. And usually I just use that to attach my stencils. I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a try here today and let's just see how we can do. Whoops, make sure I get that together so this works. And I'm gonna go a little bit back there just so that I can see what I'm doing. And then I can grab my other tape. And I'm not sure yet today, this is how prepared I am. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and stamp these in black, stamp them in a soft color, or heat emboss in gold. So we're gonna decide when we get down to that. All right, so we're starting with stencil number 1. I'm gonna start off our color here with Coral Reef. I kind of picked soft, I went for primary colors, but in soft tones. And my reason for that is I'm thinking because these kind of overlap, as you can see there, doing the red and yellow family is going to give me orange where it overlaps. And then the blue and the, the blue and the yellow down here, I'm hoping it's going to make green in the middle. So just kind of those inks overlapping. So you do want to pick your ink colors on these a little bit, either complementary colors that are going to be okay blended over the top of each other, or at least in a way that they're going to blend and make a good color, not anything yucky around. Like you wouldn't want to do purple and orange. Those are kind of opposites on the color wheel, and they might make a color that wasn't as pretty as you wanted. Okay, I'm going to keep the beginning of these super duper soft, and I'm blending kind of like Leah does, starting darker in the center and blending my way out. And this butterfly, the way it goes down on the bottom, you can look at the stamp set to see the base of it, the center is down here. So I'm going to blend from this direction out. Okay, so I'm almost leaving it so light that it's white at the tips. Okay, so this first color was Coral Reef. And before I move on, I'm going to come in with just a hint of Passion Fruit, which is the next color in this color family, just to add a little more depth to the very center of these, just because I think it's going to add to that effect a little bit. We'll see. It just kind of in my head seemed like a fun idea, so I'm going for it. So coral reef and passion fruit were those first two colors. Blenders. So Lana, a lot of people use different ones. I actually have several different sets of different brands, and I love them all. The ones I'm using today, these are life-changing blender brushes. Pretty much all of them I've had fairly good success with. So I would say you kind of can't go wrong with them. So first magical reveal, which maybe isn't anything super amazing yet, but we're getting there. And then peel off this tape so I can reuse that. All right, and I'm going to switch up the order of the stencils. This one would be the next stencil that we do, but I'm gonna go to where I'm just progressively going down the color. So this is actually stencil 4. But like I said, the beautiful thing is you can mix these up in whatever order you feel like doing them. So totally flexible that way. I'm going to keep that handy. And then we're going to move on to the yellows. Okay, so I'm starting off with Lemon Whip. And here's my yellow brush. And because this yellow is kind of a softer color, I'm probably blending it a little stronger than I would with some of the other colors. Just because, again, it's a super soft color, so I can afford a little more color depth without it being too crazy. Okay, and then same as last time. I'm going to go to the next color here, which is going to be Sweet Mustard. I'm probably going to make Kinneri hop for ink colors, but this will be available for rewatch after the live today. So you'll be able to catch up and catch all these ink colors. And then I will post this on my blog probably for the release hop or something like that. So you'll still be able to catch and find all these ink colors later. Okay, moving this out of the way. And let's go ahead and peel off this layer of the stencils. Oh, look where that color mixes. That's so fun. That makes me happy already. Yes, Lori, I did see that was this last weekend, and I want to rewatch a little. I was working so hard to keep up with comments that I didn't exactly catch her her reason and her explanation for doing that. So I want to see how she managed to do it. I noticed it just was lined up perfect, so she could just slide her stencils in there. But it looked like a pretty neat system there. So okay, for some reason my phone is not staying awake for me to catch comments, so I'm trying to kind of look on my laptop. Okay, let's move on to our blues. And again, we're going to start with our lightest, and then we'll do a little bit of the next color. So I'm going to do Ocean Breeze. And I saw someone else asking about these stencils again. And I know Kinneri just answered, but again, these are, this is part of the release that's happening on Thursday. So this is our sneak peek one. Okay. Come in here with Ocean Breeze. And again, where the colors overlap, it's kind of fun to see how these colors are gonna work and come out. All right, and then come down here with a little aquamarine, just for the base of these, more where the centers are and it overlaps. Okay. Clean these off a little, and this is where you can start more and more to see the design coming together here. Oh, I love these colors. I was so hoping they would work together. I can't lift that up. I was going to lift it up, but I think you can see just that soft. Part of me even thinks this would be really lovely. Just die cut out like this without even adding the other layers, in fact, even if you added the stamping over this, just leaving these layers really soft. But you know, we're not going to stop there and leave it at that. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our last 2 layers. So I'm going to do something a little different on this. I'm going to mask off a little bit of these layers so that I can get just certain colors in certain spots. So one little inexpensive quick mask I like to use is just Post-it tape. Let's see if I do that, and I can just tear off the part that gets in the way of where I'm going to be stenciling. Mark off that. And then I'm just going to grab a little tiny bit of Post-it tape to get the last little bit of that there. All right, let's see. Okay, just making sure I'm not missing any comments along the way. All right, so we'll start here with the red. I'm pondering, do I want to go back and just do the passion? Let's go bold. Let's see how it works. Why not? Just keep this one super duper soft because this is already going to be a pretty bold color, but I think that hint of red is going to be kind of fun on there. And really do a good job of bringing those color variations in there. And the great thing is, even with these deeper colors, the softer you go on applying them, you can still keep the color tones looking a little different than you might expect. Okay, carefully cleaning off that ink before I move these because I really don't want to mess up. Okay, then I'm marking off the other because I think I'm going to make the centers in our deep blue shade. So let's move on to Mermaid Cove. Of course not, Lori. Do we ever stop at the easy spot? Got to go all the way. Another fun thing, if you wanted to do a tiny bit of masking at the same time that you were doing the other layers, it would be really easy. Just gonna fold that down. To get 2 different colors on the butterflies. I'm just sticking with the same color combo on these because it was a little simpler today and I already wanted to mask off these 2 colors, so I didn't want to go too far. And yes, the colors mixing is part of what makes this so fun. Just like Canary said. Okay, and then pull off my mask there and make sure this is cleaned off enough. All right, are you ready for this? Getting close to our final magical. So pretty. I'm getting excited about this, you guys. I haven't even seen this one in person done like this. You know what I mean? Like the finished stenciling. So, okay, final layer. And then we'll see what we can do about finishing off the stamping. Okay. Coming with our darkest yellow on this, marigold. Oh, coral reef is the favorite. Who's that? Yes, Lori. You know that we are always going to use coral reef if that's an option. It's like that perfect between a red and a pink, and I know what it is about a color, but if I could only own one Pinkfresh ink cube, which already would be super duper sad, that would probably be the one I would own. All right, last magical reveal. Ready? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm even more. I was in love with this set already. I hadn't even used it much and I was in love with it. Pretty sure I'm even more in love now. Okay. Let's move on. This is where I have to decide now. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't have inky fingers, because that would be just what I would be prone to and ruin all this pretty white space. Let me pull off those tapes off the back. Look at how pretty. Okay. All right, so now is when I need to decide. Do we want to just stamp this in black, nice and bold? Or do we want to stamp it? What do we want to do? Or heat emboss in gold? I know, right, Daniel? That's kind of what I was thinking is, honestly, if you just cut this out, you're done. I mean, you need nothing else, but we're going to do the stamps today just because I want to show you how they all work. But just can't decide what color I want to stamp it in, because I think I want to move on and do one of our new sentiment sets as a sneak peek. So I might just stamp this in, let's get this layered over here. Let's see what I feel like doing once I get this sort of lined up on here. Okay, you might have to excuse my head for a moment while I get my face all, make sure I have those all lined up. And if you saw my trick the other day, it was with a red rubber stamp set, but okay, let's see if I got that. I think that might be where we wanted it. So when I've got this on here lining up now, when I look around at the edges, I kind of put my head down. You're probably seeing the back of my head. But as I look all the way around, I can't see any color out from under the stamp. So that tells me that I probably have it lined up perfectly where I want it. So as long as I keep that in place, we should be good to go. I think what I'm going to stamp this in is either a soft gray. Gotta decide here. I'm gonna pull up my swatches. Debating on one of the soft grays there, or possibly that warm buff color, because I want to add a gold sentiment. But I think, oh, black, oh, Stargazer D. I like it. I'm gonna do Stargazer. I like that idea. That's perfect. I just saw her pop that on there, and she is amazing with color combos, so I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going for it. Stargazer. I didn't even think about going with that color. I think that's perfect. Okay. Here we go. I already love it. I'm going to stamp that twice just to make sure we get it on there really well. I'm going to make sure I got really good coverage. Oh, that was perfect. Okay, so it's a little bold right now too, but that Stargazer ink, it's a dye ink, of course, so it's going to sink in and color the paper and soften up a little bit, just like all of that ink blending we did is going to. Okay, so I'm going to set that off to the side now, and I'm going to move all my inks. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I die cut here. Really quickly, we're going to move on. And you guys have been asking for more hot foiling. If you saw one of the other sneak peeks that we did, you might already know we've got some more sentiments coming that are hot foil. I'm going to clear some space off on my desk, but first I'm gonna get my hot foil machine heating up so that we can peek at one of those new sentiment sets. So that's gonna take a few minutes to heat up. So that way I can get that turned on, and then I can clear some space here on my desk. Oh, those butterflies. I'm in love. I'm in love, guys. I really am. Okay. So that heats. Let me just kind of shuffle some stuff around. I'm doing the proverbial chuck everything on the floor to get it out of my way method. Super scientific and fancy. Or, you know, I have a little corner off my desk doing that. This does take just a smidge of shuffling. I'm also going to widen out. Yes, Lori, it is in the mini pads, the mini ink pads. That sounded funny when I said that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to zoom my camera out a little, so bear with me for just a second. Actually, can go really wide, so excuse the messy desk dilemma there, but I think that's the easiest way to make sure and show all of this. So you might be seeing the corner of my desk, but I was waiting to see if we had time, but we made such good time on that ink blending that I think we're just gonna go for it. This off. No, gotta keep it on there. Okay. Put this off on that side there then. And then I'm gonna grab my die cut machine while I trim down some foil real fast. Okay. So here is the set we're going to use while this heats up. These are so amazing, you guys. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so we're going to use the hot foil one today, the hot foil plate. Notice how it's all one piece. There's also, I mixed up the backings for those. This is that Perfect Sentiments, the stamp set, all in one piece, you guys. It's one big stamp. And then you see this die that coordinates with that? Yeah, it's all one piece too. So you can stamp or hot foil these, one pass through your die cut machine, and you can cut them all off. And there are seriously great sentiments. There's two of these that are releasing. This one, it's called Perfect Sentiments. Ignore, I need to swap my backing cards because I just got them all muddled on my desk. I mean, these are just like classic basic sentiments. Sending hugs, thank you, happy birthday, hello, congrats. I'm not even sure which one of them we're going to use today, but we are going to start with the hot foil. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way, and then let's go ahead and trim down our piece of hot foil. I know, Maya, you have butterflies. See, I've seen tons of butterflies. These are the most different and unique ones I've seen, just because they are, like you said, they have that, the uniqueness of the stencils being with them. So the foil I'm using, this is Spellbinder's Glimmer Hot Foil. This is called Aura. It's a really pretty, it's a gold with kind of a shimmery rainbow effect. Leah's the one who told me about this. It's her personal favorite and so pretty. So I'm going to use that today. Move that out of the way because we won't need that again. All right, and then the platform's still getting ready, but I'm still just going to go ahead and get this on here and heating. And while I do that, I'm going to tape this. So the size of these words are, they're, let's say 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So the same size as an A2 that they'll fit on. I found with the foiling, you don't have to, but it is a little bit easier to have it bigger, or you can do that hinge effect. But I had a hard time. A couple times I get them too close to the edge and cut off one of the sentiments when I went to die cut them. So I've just decided to do them with a little bit larger piece of cardstock, just because it gave me a little more wiggle room. Granted, you get a tiny bit of waste, but it's a pretty minimal amount. And I was willing to sacrifice that just for it being a little bit easier not to lose that. Yes, okay. Let me grab my Spellbinders die cut machine, because once that platform's ready, I'll be able to turn the timer on. But in the meantime, are we fitting on the desk here? Fix this real quick too. All right, while we wait for that to heat up, I'm gonna grab, oh, there it is. The platform is ready. I don't know if you saw that light come on. So I'm gonna hit the timer, and that's gonna get that fully heated. And while I wait for that, I'm gonna go ahead and die cut our butterflies. So those are ready to go. Now, my advice when you're lining these up, to me, the two most important parts to get perfectly lined up are the little antennas on both of these. Because if you cut either of those off, crooked, they're gonna look a little weird. So you know the bling. And I'm looking at all these colors and going, oh my goodness, we could pick any color bling we want. All right, and someone asked a question about swatches, it sounds like, and I don't see where the question is. So I'll try and keep an eye on it. In case I missed that. And if you ask again, if I miss it again while I'm hot foiling, then I'm just gonna have to say, forgive me. Okay, look at that. Okay, we have these all ready to go. And the timer just turned off here. So we're ready. I'm gonna loosen this from the timer machine there. And then I'm gonna pop this over there. Over on my platinum, grab the two sheets that go with it, the plates that are for the glimmer machine, and run these through. All right, let me just lift this off of there real quick and set that over to cool. Do the magical reveal here. First, I'm going to turn this off, unplug it, and set it aside to cool. So I have my desk space back a little bit better. All right. And then are you ready for this? This is like the new most magical reveal ever, I feel like. Oh, look at that. Okay, let me zoom my camera back in real quick, because I think we need to go back to a closer view. Okay. Color swatches to buy as a set. If you're talking about the color swatches, these ones that I showed, we sell the product. It's from Waffle Flower, but we sell the swatching supplies, I guess you could say. But they don't come ready-made. Okay. So if you look really close at this, it's nearly perfect. There's a couple little spots where actually I found some of them. Look at that. I can just rub with my finger, and that little bit of overfoiling honestly just comes off with my fingers. Make sure your fingers are clean. There's only a couple little spots, because if the foil sticks anywhere that it's not supposed to, it hasn't been heat set on there. So it's not going to stick very well at all. So any of those little spots that you just see, but if not, a little pink eraser just gently over it will get those last little tiny spots. Look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. I'm going to grab my die cut machine back up here, because I just realized, of course, we need to die cut these before we move on. So I'm going to line this all up at once. This is seriously magical, you guys. There's enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couldn't remember how many on this one. There's 11 sentiments on this set that you get. 1 pass stamping or hot foiling, and 1 pass die cutting, and then you have enough for 11 cards if you want. Okay, run this through the die cut machine. That's really noisy. Okay. These out of here again. I missed someone's question, but Henry must have gotten it about the foiling. And yes, that is correct. It was the Aura foil from Spellbinders. All right. These popped out and ready to go. How fun is that? Am I right? I have sentiments for days here. And again, if you want this a similar look, I mean, the foiling is kind of a unique look, but if you aren't ready to dive into hot foiling, then there is, I see Susan asking on there, there is a coordinating stamp set that does the exact same thing. So you could stamp it in any color ink that you wanted, or heat emboss it in gold. It would just be another slightly different look and way to go about it. So, all right. We're still doing good for time. And yes, I know a lot of people aren't ready to get into hot foiling, but when you're ready, I'm pretty sure we're going to have you covered. I'm going to curve these up a little bit because I think when I adhere these on, I think I'm just going to only add glue in those center parts. Okay, then let me pull down here. I did a little pre-pairing. I wasn't sure how they were going to work, but I think I'm pretty happy with how it's looking like it's going to work here. So these are, let me get the right ones here. Ornate banner. I die cut that largest banner shape there. And then diagonal stripes with a window here. 2 different die sets. And my plan here currently was to put this one on here on the pink card base. I'm wondering now if that blends in too much. We'll see. Hold on. Might just, let's see if I like it. I might like that one better on here. And then this one was just gonna kind of go tucked on here. I think I got some tape on there. And then we can build our sentiment on this one kind of down below. I actually think I'm gonna swap those. In fact, I think I'm gonna grab my, sorry here, with me as I think. I might just tuck that white piece in there. I might pop it up on foam or something. I actually like that better. I think that makes this pop off that background a little bit more. Okay, so this is my tentative plan here. And then I want to add on, for some of these, I'm debating on if I want to do one of the sentiments. This one I might just do a stamped sentiment, although I'm not entirely sure. Because I could probably even scooch this up a little. Nope, nope, I'm not going to do that. What I might do is fit that hello over there. Nope, I'm not sure yet. I think maybe the celebrate there, and then the real growth is being more of yourself. I think I like that. I think that'll get stamped under there. And then this one, I was pondering, I think that's sending hugs. And this is where I want to tuck that, maybe like right underneath the edge of that. Okay. I think I'll use that other sentiment there. Okay, so we're going to kind of combine the sentiments. Yes, exactly. One-step stamping, stenciling, die cutting, and then the sentiments. So a separate set for that. And just like that, we're gonna have 2 cards out of this. So let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna start. Oh, I know what else I was gonna do. Sorry, my scatterbrained. Every time I look over at the comments, I lose my spot there. I die cut a couple extra passes of these so that I could get some extra layers. Nope, that's congrats. There we go, an extra celebrate. Yeah, so this way I can layer these together and get a little bit of dimension without necessarily having to do. So distracting today, Lori. Sorry about that. Sorry, but not sorry, all at the same time. Okay, and I'm gonna do, if you guys watched Craft Hour, I got an amazing trick from our guest. This is a piece of just white cardstock. I think she had cardboard, but it's covered with press and seal wrapped around at the back. And she uses it just to hold her dies in place, like die cut pieces like this, to be able to glue them together without getting glue all over her fingers. It is absolutely genius. That was Julie Ebersole. So this is not my trick, but I am wholeheartedly adopting it. So I can just adhere these together. I'm going to do 2 layers for each one just to get nice and good depth to these, a little bit more sturdiness and dimension. See, look at that. Now I can pull them off. And I have no glue on my fingers, and that's what I always get. Oh, so brilliant. Julie, you are a genius. Anyone who knows her probably knows that already, but I'm new to that bit of genius anyway. And I'm just using a Zig glue pen to adhere these down. Yes, someone else saw the press and seal tip, so I know I wasn't the only one to be amazed by that, but I love how long we can all be crafters. Yes, with the sticky side out, Miss Fabulous Feline. I saw her question there. How long we can craft and still learn things from each other. I mean, even someone who's been crafting for ever and a day, and all of a sudden you see something and just go, oh, I get that. That's why. Let's see. Let me just double check that. Can I fit that down really low there? I think I can make that work actually. Let's try that. Sorry, guys. I think I can do that. I think I like that. Okay, one at a time here. So let's slide this down here. Gonna get my little bit of liquid glue on the back of this. Yes, Lori, that was the one with the stenciling on the Misty. That's correct. Okay, I'm only gonna adhere down. See, I just put the glue on where that little butterfly body was. And liquid glue, so it'll slide a little bit. That'll give plenty of time for that to adhere down. And then I'm gonna add my hot foiled sentiment. And because we've already built it up, we've already got our dimension. Just putting that so that it just barely covers the bottom of that butterfly. And then we can add that sentiment in just a moment. And then we'll finish this one off with some bling. I think I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead, I think on this one, I'm gonna stamp my sentiment on there first. A little misty here, we don't need anything crazy. I just want this centered as low down as I can get it. I think I'm gonna make the sentiments, we're just gonna go the that Stargazer ink so that it coordinates and works with what we have as the outline on the butterflies. I was debating on black, but I think I'm going to go with that Stargazer. I'm going to do it gently and stamp it 2 times. And then while I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and just add that sentiment stamped right under there. Ooh. As I remember to pull this one off real quick, set that aside. That would have ruined this one really quickly there. Okay, clean that off. I'll put those away in just a second. Back here, just because I know I will lose those sentiments if I don't just put these away now. There we go. I was gonna wait, but I know myself too well. All right. Let me just, yeah, the big question, crystals or jewels? It might even be both. You do know that that is a possibility, right? You've seen Leah and I and our love for bling. Okay, let's get this. Let's go and add a little bit of foam adhesive to the back of this one. I'm gonna have to trim the bottom off, but that's okay. Where's my scissors? There they are behind my laptop. Almost the right width for the rest of it, but obviously this part on the bottom needs to curve around a bit to get out of the way. And that right there is just as much as we need. Okay, add this onto our card base. Make sure to center that on well. And see, can you see this? Because it's glued down there, this part floats free. I hope you can see just how fun and dimensional that is. You don't have to, but like you can literally lift and move that. How fun is that? Okay, and then let's go ahead and get this adhered. Ignore that little bit of purple. That's actually, I guess I can get it off now. My fingernails weren't cooperating before. That's just my tape from holding the die in place. And I think I need to do that. Actually, I think on this, I'm just gonna add a little bit of liquid glue down like every other of these lines because I don't think I need it. Oops, did I just get glue? I did on the back of that. Let's move that. Messy crafter warning. Okay, good enough there. Sorry, Sharon, Thursdays are in the morning and Tuesdays are in the afternoon. We try and kind of mix up the times so that it's different times of day, different people. You know, if people work, then maybe it fits their schedule better, or for our international friends who are on a different time zone, it helps kind of make it work for both of them. And yes, Sharon, this is the sneak peek of Thursday's release. We've been looking at all of it. Lori, that is just, it's like kids craft fun foam. It's actually nothing too fancy. I just put score tape on the back of it. It's a trick I learned from Leah. And I'm not going to pop that up with foam. I just made the executive decision. I was thinking on it, but I want that dimensional butterfly to kind of be where the dimension is and let that shine on there. Okay. And I think if I aha, that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a little bit of an angle there. the final decision. Okay, a little bit of glue here on our sentiment. And tuck that so that I like that, because that A, that little swoop on the A kind of goes down around that sentiment. And then by tilting this just a little, yep, and I'm okay if it goes off the edge of the card. Some cards are just worth it. No more sneak peeks. Mindy, we're done. I'm not going to torture you anymore. I'm purposely going to put that there so just the bottom kind of bumps over that celebrate word just a little. All right, slide it just a little because that liquid glue will let me. And again, I'm going to leave it loose so that that can fold up. So we'll let that dry there. So there's this one. Your sticky legs. So fun fact, butterflies, they can land on me and I'm totally fine with it. My nemesis is spiders. And I kid you not, right as I was getting ready to start this live, I have to put my laptop up on a box to kind of get the height right to fit everything on my desk. Sure enough, the box I pull out and set up on my desk, a spider crawls out. Ugh. So I always feel like I deserve a medal for being brave and handling it, because I took care of it and I sanitized my mat and I was still ready to go live and I wasn't shaking and my voice wasn't squeaking. So we're going to call that a win. And yes, Sharon, sometimes I do like that when it goes off the side. Okie doke. Pulling out the bling, and then we'll see where we go from here. I'm just moving all these extra sentiments. They're just so pretty. I don't want to move them off my desk yet. All right, so we've got jewels and we've got crystals. What do we want to use? That's the hard part here. I'm feeling like I'm picturing Leah's magical little rainbow that she always does. Oop. Just kind of follow along with the colors we have up there. We might try something like that. Lori, the size of the butterfly. Well, this is an A2 card, so this large butterfly, it's almost as wide as the A2 card. You can kind of see there. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the measurements. So I'm just going to kind of have to do the best I can there to say I know it's somewhere close to that. Just blow through little bits of crystals here. We're going to do a classic Leah embellishment here. And yes, once again, the release will be live on Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Central Daylight Time. I guess it's not just Central Standard right now, but pretty close. Oop, dropping things here. I'm doing the light green. Oops, nope, I need the big one. Pondering. I think that'll work. Yeah. Stick with that. Yeah, Sharon, that's probably a fairly good rough guesstimate. Actually, you know what? I'm not feeling, oops, excuse me while I fling this in. I'm not feeling that blue. I think I'm actually going to go, still got blue bling hiding here, so let me clean that up. Ah, okay, they all want to just stay. Yes, one with the crystals, and then I think one with the jewels is where we're going to go. I think I'm going to do the darker green because I think that, yeah, I think that fits better with that. Well, maybe. Undecided, but I think that's where I'm going to go. Slide these off to the side and then fiddle with where I want to put these. I think I'm leaning towards that. Kind of like that little staggered. And now I'm almost tempted to do another little run up there. You know what? I'll do that maybe with the smaller, the next size down. I'm gonna try that. Let's just give it a go. We'll see if it's too much. Going kind of for the medium size. If I don't like it, I'll just move them out of the way and save these for another day. Or, as the case may be, one more, we'll see. I'm not sure that I'm loving those how I have it up there. Kind of thinking. Okay. I might have to finish the bling on these after we're done. No, nope, not loving that. Okay. I am pondering though if I could fit them somehow. I don't think they're gonna squeeze. I think I'd have to go the smaller size. So I'm just gonna remove those for the moment and maybe just stick, let's see. That could work. Use them as a trail. Let's try that real quick. I just saw someone comment on that. I hadn't thought about that. That might be a good. You know what? I think I do like that. I saw someone else, a couple other people said the same thing. Okay, I'm going to spend more time on the bling on these cards than I spent on the entire rest of the card. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. We're just going to add a simple little swoop there. I don't know. I'm undecided, but I'll finish that in a minute. But let's go ahead and add some little bit of bling on this one. And I think on here, I'm going to do, that's right, Sharon, rainbow poop. Is it rainbow poop? Because maybe we need to change that. I think I'm going to center it a little more here because all of a sudden now all I can see is rainbow poop. So we don't want rainbow poop. That, we're going to do that. Okay. So pink, yellow, and the darker aqua color. I think that's where we're going to go on this one. And I think this one I'm just going to do in little clusters of 3. Yeah, I just can't do the rainbow poop now, so I'm going to just have to bear with that because I can't go there now. I'm going to trade out that. It's a tiny one of the pink up there. I like to use different sizes, and since they come in little clusters of 3s, it works really well. I'm going to do a medium there. Yep. And the large one up there. Okay, this was a lot easier here, so definitely not having to, although now that I have, yeah, still gonna stick with that. Just gonna rearrange a little bit, so keep the blue and the yellow a little closer. That pink one off a little. There we go. Okay. Butterfly drips. You know what? I made a cute little card once and I put some embellishments there, and my sweet sister was the one who said, it looks like it was like a little stuffed animal that a girl was holding. With an old MFT set, I think, and totally that was the reaction was, yep, it looks like it's pooping. And so we had to rearrange that. I'm going to change the order because I'm realizing I want my order to go opposite of the butterfly. I think it's just going to balance it a little bit better. And I really like that there, just like that anyway. So I know the butterfly trails was a fun idea, but do that another day. So Ducks Again 63, the difference between crystals and jewels. So the jewels that you'll probably see here, these are flat backed, solid, and they have an iridescent finish. Just put that one on upside down. Excuse me there. And they all come in 3 different sizes, regardless of which one you get. And then the crystals are a little more heavily dimensional. They've got kind of more of a 3D effect. They've got a pointy side, and then what I would call the back or the front of these ones looks more like the front of these. So there's not a completely flat, and they're transparent and super sparkly, more of a clear see-through effect there, if that makes sense. So they're both, I use them both interchangeably. On card fronts, I just put the pointy side up when I use the crystals like this, because I think I like the way they lay better on that. Okay. Yes. These work really well. This is my Studio Catio one, the embellishment tool, and then I also have my crystal katana, and they both work pretty much equally well. I'm gonna make sure these are curled up well since I have that option. Okay. And then I'm almost, I mean, it's kind of late now, but I almost feel like I could have added a gold frame cut with this ornate banner to go around. It's not necessarily late, it's just these are stuck down now, so it'd be hard to fit it around. But yes, okay, I just saw the winner there. Laura Reed, you are today's winner. Almost missed it scrolling by. Perfect timing though, because we're just winding down and finishing up. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around. Let me just show you these one more time. Again, look how I left the butterflies loose so that the wings will move up and give great dimension, but they'll still go flat to fit in a card. Okay. And it's time here to switch this camera around and I'll say my goodbyes. We did pretty good. We made 2 cards. We went just a minute or 2 over, but I think that's not too bad for what we got done. And you know, and another butterfly, you could fit another one behind both of them too. That would be another great idea. All right. So once again, everything we were well, everything, but most of what we were sneak peeking today is going to be available on Thursday. So just 2 days away. Make sure and come back that day, Facebook Live at noon Central Daylight Time. Leah will be doing that with another look at the release. And then it's all already going to be live and available by then. So you'll be able to shop starting 7 a.m. and check out the blog hop. There's always tons of giveaways and prizes along the way. So, all right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope you're excited about this release as much as we all are.